The Monuments Men, brought to you by Rotten Cucumbers.
The Monuments Men takes place towards the end of World War II, where a group of 7 men is being assembled to protect and recover millions of pieces of artwork and cultural items. The art was stolen by the Nazis from wealthy Jews, museums, universities, and religious institutions. The platoon is hand-chosen by Lieutenant Frank Stokes, played by George Clooney. The members include Matt Damon as Lieutenant James Granger, Bill Murray as Sergeant Richard Campbell, John Goodman as Sergeant Walter Garfield, Jean Dujardin as Second Lieutenant Jean-Claude Clermont, Bob Balaban as Private Preston Zavitz, Hugh Bonneville as Second Lieutenant Donald Jeffries, and Kate Blanchett as Claire Simone.
George Clooney serves as a leader to the group of museum directors, curators, and art historians. The men go through basic training in order to go into war zones in Europe to retrieve the stolen art. The men split up into different areas around Europe in attempts to locate the art stolen by Hitler, as well as protect the art that had not yet been stolen. They are met with a lot of opposition when they ask soldiers to regulate what they are destroying, just in case there was art around. 2 of the men lose their lives trying to protect the art, so the rest of them finish the mission in their honor. Then they find 16,000 pieces of artwork in a mine, as well as Germany's entire gold reserve. Later they find a mine in Austria only partly destroyed, so they get out as much art as they can before the Russians arrive to seize the territory. In the end, George Clooney reports back to the U.S. president showing the artwork that they saved.
The president then asks Clooney if he feels that the lives lost was worth the art, to which he replies yes.
The majority of this film is historically accurate, but specific details are not. All of the men are loosely based on the real people in the Monuments Men program, but the film fails to portray the hundreds of men and women who were there saving art. FDR originally created a program called the Monuments, Fine Arts, and Archives program, and those who worked for it were called the Monuments Men.
2 of the most important pieces they were trying to protect were the Madonna and Child and Ghent altarpiece, which are 2 real sacred pieces of religious art. And although not depicted in this film, one of the main reasons that the men were able to save all the art from the mine was that some Germans did not follow the orders of Hitler's Nero decree, stating that Nazis were to destroy and burn everything if Hitler had died. Unfortunately today, of the millions of pieces of art and artifacts stolen, hundreds of thousands still remain missing, including Bernardo Bellotto's View of the Grand Canal in Venice, Van Gogh's Vincent on His Way to Work, Claude Monet's Manet painting in Monet's Garden, and Sandro Botticelli's Portrait of a Man, which Clooney mentions at the end of the film. This film helped us understand the role of the U.S. in World War II by showing us how they were not only trying to save people's lives, but also their culture. Without them, many of these great achievements could have been destroyed and lost forever.
How do you feel about the Monuments Men movie?
I think that the movie was okay. I think it kind of showed a different side of World War II and it let us see how art was like a big deal in World War II, and that these people went in and saved basically art history. And if like our society would be so much different if they hadn't done that, and it gave a different perspective rather than just fighting in war zones. It gave a little bit of war zones, mostly like passion for art and how important art was. But I do think aesthetically the movie wasn't very well done because the storyline was just all over the place, and it was really hard to follow the movie, and you couldn't just pick a character you really liked and like wanted to just see them all the time because everyone was always changing, and it was just really hard to like fall in love with the character and understand them. So what's your opinion on the Monuments Men movie?
I feel that the movie was kind of hard to follow and the storyline was just super scattered. And I also feel like it was extremely unrealistic that only 7 men were going to protect all the art in Europe. But it was refreshing to have a movie that wasn't just about tanks and guns in the World War